What is up, best ones worldwide? It's the best one, DBTV here, back with a brand new basketball talk video. If you're not a best one yet and you're an NBA fan, recommend you to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications, because you already know the grind is real. And if you've been following the channel these past few years, you guys should know that I have been a day one Brooklyn Nets fan.
So now the Nets, we lost another opportunity. We're stuck with an injured Jeremy fucking Lin and a guy named Spencer Dinwiddie. Who the hell names their kid Spencer Dinwiddie? He's trash.
So I want to give you guys an update on the Kyrie Irving situation and what I think the Brooklyn Nets should do, because we are 1/4 into the season already, and Kyrie has still decided not to get the vaccine, and Kyrie has still not played a game in a Brooklyn Nets jersey so far this season. And there's a lot of controversy behind it, because if you live in the New York area, the law is you must be vaccinated, and Kyrie is not allowed to play any games in New York due to the law. But he is allowed to go play away games. But obviously, with the Brooklyn Nets, they decided that if Kyrie isn't going to get vaccinated, then he can't be a part of the team full time. Then Kyrie is going to have to sit out. Which, in my opinion, I absolutely agree with the Brooklyn Nets in this situation. Because we need our team chemistry to be up there. If we want to be the best team in the NBA, we have to have all 15 guys on our team on the same page. They need to show up to practices. They need to play every game. Because I think the reason why the Brooklyn Nets did not win the chip last year is because we did not have enough games with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. When they played the 13 games together, they looked phenomenal, very promising, and unfortunately, Kyrie Irving's injury and James Harden getting injured during the Bucks series, I think, really messed the team up, and literally, we were a toe away from winning a freaking championship, which still pisses me off to this day, but I think that chemistry is a huge thing, and I think having Kyrie, KD, and James Harden play more games together this season would have made the team so much better, and we would really be a championship contender. I get it. A lot of probably the non-Net fans out there are probably asking,
"Oh, why are you coming at the Brooklyn Nets? We're the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. We're still the number one team in the conference."
If you do not watch these games, then you don't know. Just like a lot of you guys thought that we were stupid for not playing DeAndre Jordan, and then he goes to the Lakers and everybody's calling the Nets stupid, this and that. But what has DeAndre Jordan done on the Lakers? Crickets. That's all I hear is crickets. You see, the problem is with the Brooklyn Nets, there's a lot of problems with this team that is not getting addressed because we are the number one seed, and I still don't know how we're the number one seed, but especially if you watch the games against these good teams like the Nets versus the Suns, Nets versus Milwaukee, Nets versus Golden State, you can tell the struggles with this team, and one of our biggest problems is Steve Nash's rotations. They are absolutely horrible. I get Blake Griffin's been kind of slow this season, but having him not play any friggin' minutes, I think, is absolutely dumb. And another thing that is absolutely dumb with this Nets team is not moving on from Kyrie Irving, which is what this video is all about. I know, months ago, I made a video saying that we should just wait it out and see because Kyrie Irving is a superstar. But we've waited, and I have made my decision that the Brooklyn Nets, they need to trade Kyrie Irving as soon as possible. And I'm not letting Stephen A. or any of these ESPN analysts out there freaking fog up my brain here. This is my opinion. This is coming from a legit Brooklyn Nets fan. Kyrie has to go ASAP. The problem is, You have to understand, Kyrie Irving is on an expiring deal, and the Brooklyn Nets, they were going to give Kyrie Irving the contract extension. But with this whole vaccine thing and Kyrie deciding to miss games for mental health or just didn't feel like playing a game with injuries and all of this, Brooklyn has every right not to give Kyrie the extension. And I don't think this offseason the Brooklyn Nets are going to re-sign Kyrie. So what are the Nets going to do? Are we going to just hope that Kyrie gets vaccinated and plays in a Brooklyn Nets uniform before playoffs? Or are we just going to just let Kyrie Irving go in free agency and then he decides where he wants to go and the Nets get nothing back in return? Because if you think Kyrie Irving wants to return to Brooklyn, I don't think so. Because you see here, the Nets, they had the option to let Kyrie play away games that are not in New York. But the Brooklyn Nets, they chose to keep the chemistry. And if Kyrie can't be a full-time player, then he can't play games at home or away. So if you really think that Kyrie is going to stay with the Brooklyn Nets after all of this, even if he decides to get vaccinated, which we all know Kyrie is not getting vaccinated, you must be very delusional. Kyrie has to get traded ASAP, and I know a lot of Net fans are pretty pissed off because Kyrie's trade value is at an all-time low, and a lot of people think that. People are crazy for saying that, but I don't think people are crazy for saying that because look at Kyrie Irving's track record. He has dealt with injuries. He can't play a full season. He is a diva outside the NBA court. He's a huge distraction, and teams don't want that. And they're not going to get rid of their best player for Kyrie Irving. And I think the most realistic trade option at this point, as much as I don't want to say it because everybody else has said it, Kyrie Irving to the 76ers for Ben Simmons. That is the most realistic, probably the best trade that the Brooklyn Nets could get at this point. Both of these two have not played a single game with their teams, and I still think to this day Ben Simmons has every right not to play a game for the 76ers after the way the fans turned their backs on him, pointing their fingers at him. I think overall this is the smartest move for the Brooklyn Nets. I know Ben Simmons is not a three-point shooter, but Ben Simmons is a very healthy player. He stays healthy during the season. Ben Simmons is a great playmaker, and I think James Harden is also a great playmaker, but the problem is that James Harden doesn't even know if he needs to pass or if he needs to shoot. James Harden has to be, him and KD have to be our two pure scorers. Ben Simmons' playmaking abilities and his post work, the Brooklyn Nets could really utilize at this point. And Ben Simmons can also grab rebounds, something that we are still struggling with. I don't know why we're still struggling with it. I think a lot of it is Steve Nash's fault. But Steve Nash is not going anywhere anytime soon. It's probably going to take a couple years if the Nets don't go anywhere. It's a shitty situation. This whole Kyrie Irving thing is a shitty situation. I love Kyrie's game. I am a huge Kyrie Irving fan. When he joined the Brooklyn Nets, I was so excited. I've always loved Kyrie Irving's game. But at this point, what is the point of keeping Kyrie if he can't play any games? What's the point of keeping Kyrie when he is going to be a free agent? He has a contract expiring. Kyrie is going to leave the Brooklyn Nets and he's going to go to a big team. And a lot of these small market teams out there are not going to trade their best players for Kyrie because they know that Kyrie is not staying with that small team. Realistically, Kyrie Irving is probably going, the best option is Philly. Philly is a big market team out there. They have Joel Embiid, they have Tobias Harris, they have great role players on that team, a great coach in Doc Rivers, who I think him and Kyrie will probably have problems down the line. And it just all works out for both teams, even though I think Philly is going to be absolutely scary with Kyrie and Joel. I think that the Nets with Ben Simmons' all defensive first abilities and playmaking abilities, with James Harden scoring and Kevin Durant scoring, and some of our very underrated players out there like Patty Mills, LaMarcus Aldridge, and even Cam Thomas getting more minutes out there, I think that the sky is the limit for this team. And I think even having Ben Simmons is going to make Joe Harris even better when he comes back from his injury. Ben Simmons is a great playmaker. He's going to get shooters open. Joe Harris is going to look great with Ben Simmons out there. There's a lot of players on this team I think that could benefit Ben Simmons' abilities and what he brings to the basketball court. It's just time that the Nets let go of Kyrie, and I think anything is better than nothing, and I actually don't mind it anymore. I am not the biggest Ben Simmons fan out there, but he is definitely going to bring a lot more to the court right now for our team than Kyrie. And I think the sooner they make this happen, the better it's going to be for the postseason, for our playoff run, because chemistry is such an important thing, and I think that's one reason why the Brooklyn Nets didn't win it all last year. But let me know in the comment section below what your guys' opinions are on the whole Kyrie Irving situation, because I know every Brooklyn Nets fan out there has their own opinion about this, and I've been seeing it all over the place. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this. This is coming from a Brooklyn Nets fan. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not an NBA fan, if you're an NBA fan and you are into basketball, telling you guys, support us by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. Links down in the description below. Go follow me on my social medias. All that is down below. But to all the Brooklyn Net fans out there, and to all the best ones out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.